We have been on the road since 2006, and our day job is running the Mobile Internet Resource Center. We've been doing that since now 2014.
So that entire span of time, staying connected has been critically important to us, and the tools that we use and the plans that we use and everything we use to stay connected has changed constantly as technology has evolved and our needs have evolved. So today we want to share with you a snapshot of what we're using to stay online.
Today.
Stand on the path that I've chosen, straight up. Come my way and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming like the rising of the sun. Straight up.
This changes all the time. Our last update, I think, was a year and a half ago, and our setup then was completely different than it is today because new options are constantly coming out, and our day job is testing this stuff. And as of right now, we have a solution we really like. This could all change tomorrow. So make sure you also supplement with our Mobile Internet Resource Center content. We have a dedicated YouTube channel on all of this stuff. You want to go over there and subscribe, but this is kind of that rare moment where we're going to be kind of merging our personal and professional lives into one video.
Okay, so
first of all, our data plans.
Yes.
First of all, we are mostly cellular based in our internet setup. That has not changed since we hit the road back in 2006.
Yeah, cellular is so many places. Coverage and speeds have just been getting better and better and better over the years that we'll get to Wi-Fi and satellite. We rarely have to turn to those as options. So we focus a lot of our attention, our gear, on staying connected over cellular. And the most important thing with cellular is having backup plans, like redundancy of carriers. Just like jumping out of an airplane, you want to have multiple, you want a reserve parachute. With cellular, we find it so useful to have more than one carrier on board.
Especially because internet is ultra important to us. I mean, we can't work online without it, and you just never know before you get to a location what is going to work best. So having multiple options to try, so important if it is essential for you.
So start with our phones.
So we both use the iPhone 11. We are filming with mine. This is Chris's, and they have dual SIMs in them.
So the great advantage of dual SIMs is you can actually have two plans active in your phone at once, and it's useful if you want to have two phone lines for incoming calls or anything like that. But we don't use them hardly at all for phone calls. These are our mobile data devices, and we each keep an AT&T and a Verizon plan going, so we've got that built-in redundancy. When we're out and about, we always have a way online with one of the two main carriers.
So we have an older unlimited AT&T plan that retired a few years ago, and it gives us each 15 gigabytes of high-speed mobile hotspot use that we can use to get laptops and other devices online, and has unlimited on-device data. For our secondary line, we have different Verizon-based plans. Chris right now is rocking a Visible, which is a prepaid Verizon brand. It's $25 per month, gives them unlimited on-device data and unlimited mobile hotspot use. And that plan has become very popular for our viewers. It's a great option.
It is a great deal, and the price is hard to beat. There are some downsides to Visible, so go be sure and read our review of all the trade-offs you make with Visible, but it is such a great plan to have always in the back pocket.
And it's the cheapest Verizon option right now. On my iPhone, I actually have a Verizon prepaid plan, so direct with Verizon, and it's just a 15 gigabyte plan, and that includes mobile hotspot use, and that's plenty for my needs. And the reason I keep that is because one of the other plans that we have is on a Verizon Jetpack. And this plan retired back in May 2019, so you can no longer get this plan.
And you'll see this. A lot of our plans are retired plans because when we tell people, get this plan before it goes away, we really mean it. Because some of these plans are long gone from the market, but it's so valuable to have had them and hold on to them. And that's why we really keep them. So,
so this was a prepaid Jetpack plan that was unlimited, just always subject to network management, $65 per month, no longer an option. But we keep that on a Jetpack, and this is kind of one of our spare, take it away from the boat or the RV options that we will carry with us to be mobile. And it's more of a backup option, but to add my phone plan to it was really cheap. I think it's $30 a month to add it to that. So we keep two different Verizon plans on our smartphones, and then we also keep one on the Jetpack.
And now. Well, I guess we'll cover the tablet really quickly. We also keep a T-Mobile plan, again, a retired, very affordable T-Mobile plan that had binge-on video and stuff that we keep in a tablet. So it's got unlimited video streaming, unlimited other stuff, and then 6 gigabytes. So it's a low usage of just basic data, 6 gigabytes of regular data, and then it stashes, it builds up as a reserve until there's 20 gigs in the what they call the data stash. So we've always got a lot of T-Mobile data that we can tap into if we're in a place where Verizon or AT&T are overloaded and slow. So that is our kind of our T-Mobile in our pocket, our third reserve carrier there.
Yeah, well, we also have looks very similar to this device. They are pretty much the same device, just this one's for Sprint. This one, we actually go through the Calyx Institute. It's a nonprofit that has an old clause that allows you to get an unlimited data plan. We pay $600 per year to have this plan. I think it's $600 to purchase, and then it's $500 each year to renew. And it's a membership that you're buying to the Calyx Institute. And then that gives us an unlimited hotspot plan on Sprint's network, which isn't the greatest network, but that works out to a pretty cheap monthly rate. And it's good for us to have as a backup option, because sometimes you get someplace where Verizon and AT&T, which are considered the two top carriers, are saturated. And sometimes Sprint can get you around that.
Yeah, like in Quartzsite, Sprint was like the secret turbo boost backup plan to get around a lot of congestion and stuff like that. So we really have been enjoying having the Calyx plan as an option lately. And now that Sprint and T-Mobile are merging, the Calyx will start being able to take advantage of all of T-Mobile's coverage too as that starts to integrate.
We also have a hotspot plan on Netgear Nighthawk. This is an AT&T device. With that retired AT&T plan that we have on our smartphones, back in the day, you were able to add for just $20 per month an unlimited hotspot plan that had no caps or limitations on it, which was a great deal. Before that retired, we got a lot of word out to our members and our audience to get on this plan because it was
such a sweet deal.
And it's still retired and still grandfathered in. So we keep those. We actually activated 3 of those plans. So we keep one on a mobile device, and we'll get to the other way that we do it. Yes. But all of these devices here, these are considered mobile hotspots. They're all battery operated. They create a private Wi-Fi network that you can get your devices online with, and they're portable. You can also, they've got antenna ports, so you can plug in antennas to them to get a better signal to them. But we honestly don't use these all that often. These are backup options for us, or ones that we take away from our homes.
Because they're easy to carry with you, put in a pocket, carry in a backpack and stuff. But inside of our boat here, and also we actually have this set up in the bus and in the van as well. Our primary thing is we've been using, kind of getting really focused on the PepWave mobile routers. And this is a PepWave Max Transit Duo. It's a 2 Category 12 LTE modem, so it's 2 carriers simultaneously. And it actually has 4 SIM slots. So we actually have 4 plans loaded up and switch between them. And 2 of them can be connected at once. It actually has space for 4 cellular antennas to plug in. Most of them on the roof. And so that lets us bond together. Right now we primarily are using a Verizon and an AT&T plan, running simultaneously, combining the speeds and capabilities of those 2 plans. And if one is down, or they'll just switch to the other automatically and stuff. And this becomes kind of just our always-on reliable connection. We have wired Ethernet running throughout both our boat and our bus. So we've got the Ethernet coming out here and running our network. It's connecting to our TVs. It's connecting to our network storage, all of our digital devices. And all of our plans we've actually got set up so that they don't even have video throttling on them. So we actually watch video in 4K when the cellular connection's good enough.
Now, this device, the reason we standardize on it, it used to be really, really expensive to get a true dual modem router. It used to be in the thousands of dollars. But last September, PepWave came out with this model that is $999. Now, that's
still pricey.
Still pricey, but when you price out getting 2 of these and a router put together, you're getting into the same price realm. Okay. So Mobile Must Have, who is run by full-timers, Live and Light, they have a online store and they are resellers of this equipment. So they hooked us up with a demo unit back in September, and we've been really, really just standardized on this. It has been so ultra reliable. We move it between the boat the bus and the van as we move between our seasons. And then we have our own antenna installations on each that this just hooks into. So we've been testing this with a lot of different antennas over the last few months.
Yep. And we've been using the prior generations of this, so that's what we've left behind in our bus and our van and stuff, so we can actually still track them remotely and have those remote plans. So we've got cellular everywhere in all of our vehicles all the time.
So back on currently in the van and currently on the bus, which we're not in right now, we're on our boat right now. We have the old Max BR1s, which are single modem devices. They're just as solid and awesome, lower category modems. But we keep those with our spare data plans. Remember I told you we activated a few of those AT&T plans?
Just $20 a month.
We keep those on those and the vehicles that we're in, so we can do remote monitoring and tap into our video cameras and also our battery systems. And then this one is our primary one in whatever vessel that we currently are traveling in. Now the plans that we have on this one that are primary is we have one of those AT&T plans. So this one actually doesn't have a plan in it right now. It's in here. So we've got one on the bus right now, one in the van, and one in here.
All three of the plans are put to a vehicle.
And then we also have one of the old grandfathered postpaid Verizon plans. Those retired back in 2011. We happen to have one that we're still kicking along. We thank every single month when it renews that it keeps renewing.
Yeah, it is kind of the ultimate holy grail of Verizon plans, because particularly we even activated the premium streaming feature on it, so we've got unlimited video streaming as well at full 4K resolution. So great plan, really affordable.
Not available
Nobody
anymore.
can get it anymore. So you had to have jumped on that years ago.
But as far as cellular data plans, we are constantly tracking the options that are out there, and we have a guide to our current top pick data plans for RVers and boaters, which you can find at rvmobileinternet.com/plan picks. So go check that out there. We constantly update it. Now, because cellular is our primary way online, of course, getting the best signal so we can get the best data performance is ultra important. And we pretty much have standardized on what we call MIMO antennas. That means multiple in, multiple out, which is a core LTE technology. Each of these devices has at least 2, if not 4 antennas in them, which is basically like having multiple ears, hearing in stereo. These devices can hear from multiple directions and combine multiple signals that they're hearing into one performance.
So when we're using the hotspots, or if we're taking these on the go, or just focusing on something simple to connect, we always keep the Netgear MIMO antenna with us, and it is just a $20 simple suction cup. Oh, it's up to $30 now.
No, it was $27.49 is
27,
normal.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. He rounds down, I round up.
But it's such an affordable antenna, and it does wonders. You just plug it into the suction cup it into a window, and that has been amazing for us in so many places, and it's so easy and quick to set up. So we always keep that antenna with us because it's easy to carry in a backpack and stuff, even when we're out and about. And then plugged into here, we've got several different antennas that we've been using on our currently installed on the van. We've got a Mobile Mark 9-in-1.
It's overkill for that.
Overkill, but we've got that's basically got the 4 cellular antennas, and we're using 2 of the 4 Wi-Fi antennas it has, all in a little dome up on top of the van. Gives us a great basis to test from, and all in one simple little compact unit on the top of the van. We're very happy with that antenna, but we test a lot of other antennas. On the boat, we've got...
It's a pointing 402, so it's a very tall marine antenna, and it's got 2 cellular antennas inside in a MIMO configuration. So we can only use one of our modems with it at a time. I think if we had known we're going to like that antenna so much, we might have gotten 2. We might have gotten 2 and installed 2 so that we could have 2 at once. But when we installed it, we had a single modem.
Yeah, we also have a WeBoost Marine antenna, which is a single, not MIMO antenna, and that I have hooked up to just for the second modem, just to one of the antenna ports, and then I'm just using the internal small cellular antenna to go with it to give it its second ear. So it's kind of out of balance, but it does work in a pinch, and works out just fine. Especially
on our boat, which is made of fiberglass, which doesn't block signal as much as our van and bus do, which are made of metal. Yes. So it's less important to have it high up, but when we're offshore, it definitely helps to have antennas high up.
So this way we've got one cellular modem. It's got the 402 antenna, which has got its best possible reception. The second cellular modem is still doing pretty good with the WeBoost Marine antenna and an internal antenna combined with it.
And Mobile Must Have also provided those antennas for us to test, and we have a lot of testing data with each of those. We are not affiliates with Mobile Must Have. They did offer that to us. Instead, we ask them to give our members of the Mobile Internet Resource Center a higher discount than they offer directly through their affiliates. So we prefer to pass the savings on to our members. We prefer not to be compensated by vendors because we like to be unbiased.
Yeah, that's our focus is the members of the site. Now, continuing on cellular, everybody's always excited and eager to ask us about cellular boosters, and honestly, we hardly ever find a need to use a cellular booster. We've tried just about every cellular booster that exists. We're almost always happier with direct wired antennas, but we do keep a booster around because every so often it is a useful tool to have, and our current favorite booster is the WeBoost Reach, this red one here.
Right. This one came out mid-2019. It is their new flagship one. They unfortunately do not have an antenna kit yet specific for RVs or boats. Yeah. They're only selling one that goes for cars with just a little 4-inch stubby antenna. We actually preferred this in our testing. The best one is with that 4G OTR antenna, which is that really long one with like the black beer can on top. That one works best with it, but they don't have a kit with that yet. So you have to buy it separately, which ups the costs. But we do find that when you are very distant from a tower, it is the best option with something like a mobile hotspot device or even a router. But if you're standardizing on cell phones, that's when the booster comes in extra handy because cell phones don't have antenna ports. So boosters are the only way you're going to get a better signal other than holding your phone up like the Statue of Liberty.
Okay. So now, that's boosters. Again, something we hardly ever pull out. And again, another thing we hardly ever pull out, people always ask us about, what about getting into the free Wi-Fi at the marina or the free Wi-Fi at the campground or tapping into the free Wi-Fi that's in so many other places, getting better long-range Wi-Fi. Our cellular, we have so many cellular options and they usually work so well that Wi-Fi is hardly worth even testing because it's almost always disappointing. Sometimes
more and more marinas and campgrounds are doing a really great job of bringing in enough capacity for their customers so that you can actually stream Netflix. It's not across the board though, and there's still lots of times where there just isn't enough bandwidth coming in to share with everybody because most people today, they want to be able to video chat with their friends back home. They want to be able to do Zoom calls, watch YouTube videos. And those are all high bandwidth things that a lot of publicly shared resources like Wi-Fi networks just aren't set up to do.
So, but when we do stumble across a Wi-Fi network that is a really good option or our only option, we found that sometimes the Wi-Fi on 2.4 gigahertz, the low band Wi-Fi is usually not great. It's super saturated. But if you've got a device that can tap into 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and their local network has that, suddenly Wi-Fi becomes really interesting. We found some marinas and campgrounds have that, but almost no Wi-Fi extending gear talks 5 gigahertz. So that's why our go-to tool is the Wi-Fi Ranger Elite AC. So this is dual band 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. The upcoming Wi-Fi Ranger Converge Everest will also be dual band, but there's not a lot of dual band options out there. But we found this to be the best thing we've ever tested for getting long-range Wi-Fi and fast Wi-Fi and supporting both bands. And normally you would plug this into a Wi-Fi Ranger interior router, and we do have like the Wi-Fi Ranger Go AC or the Spruce that we would plug this in and connect that way. But we also would just use a Power over Ethernet adapter and just plug it in as a WAN input into our PepWave is kind of because this is our normal always set up network inside. And so we, on occasions, have found use for this, and it's our Wi-Fi option when needed. And then
satellite. Right now, the state of satellite for broadband, there is HughesNet out there, which you can get some high speeds on.
We've used in the past.
But you're having a long-term contract, and you need a huge satellite dish, and you're not going to use that on a boat because they have to be aimed in boats' moves. But so it's only appropriate for RVs, and of course, low Earth orbit satellite options like SpaceX could become a reality by the end of this year. Start becoming consumer accessible, which will be super exciting. But until then,
there's a category of devices called satellite messengers that they're basically tiny devices, handheld devices. They don't particularly need to be aimed. They just need a clear view of the sky, and they will give you no internet access, no browsing, no surfing, nothing like that. But you could send text messages and get maybe weather updates, and you can let people track you over satellite. And we keep this. This is a Garmin InReach. We keep this as a way to, always have, no matter what cell signal is, an option for pressing an SOS button and being able to be in communication for help, or if we're, out in the extreme boonies and our team needs to reach us, they could send us a text message and know that it'll get to us. And we just like that extra safety and confidence of having something like this on board, and we keep it wherever we go, even when we're traveling internationally and stuff. So we found this handy. There's hopefully going to be a whole new generation of next generation of satellite products coming to market over the next few years that will take it from text messaging to broadband everywhere, but we're not there yet.
And of course, up as 5G is rolling out, all the carriers are in a race to get their 5G networks deployed. For us nomads, I don't think it's going to really be part of our arsenals for maybe this time next year.
Yeah, we're excited to start getting 5G gear. There's nothing I would jump on at the moment as of April 2020. There's stuff out there. There's nothing I would jump on. But we've got our eye on things that hopefully by the end of this year, next year, that will start to be interesting and maybe replace some of this stuff with
so there
even newer options.
There are mobile hotspots that are coming out this year that will support 5G. Data plans are still iffy as to what they're going to offer as far as for data limits, for data use, for hotspot. These industrial grade routers, it's probably going to be quite a while before they're 5G compatible. Signal enhancing like antennas and boosters, it's going to be even longer before there's consumer accessible options for that.
So this is, I guess, kind of the big snapshot of what we personally use right now. We are cycling out stuff all the time for testing reasons and stuff like that. We do get asked if this wasn't our day job to have all of this, would we have all of this? Not all of it, but we'd have a lot of it because we are connectivity junkies. That we got into this as our day job because we were using this stuff all the time, staying connected. Staying connected is what makes being tech nomadic possible for us, and having all these multiple ways online and ability to work almost anywhere we go. And
there are other approaches to mobile internet. A lot of people do like to standardize on these mobile hotspot devices or just smartphone hotspotting off their smartphones. And then you can tether these to some mobile routers like the Wi-Fi Ranger Spruce and Aspen. You can just tether these to those routers and use multiple hotspots to get multiple carriers.
So we're not saying go out and copy our exact setup. This is what is working for us, but go study, go to our resource center, the mobileinternetinfo.com. We've got a new course there as well.
New video course that we just filmed that is debuting.
That will help you figure out what your personal setup and arsenal and ideal configuration for you would be. And you will have completely different choices than we are making.
Because the options are changing all the time and each of our needs are so unique. Now, a lot of people ask, how much data a month do we use? We can easily use 200 to 300 gigabytes a month because we do a lot of video streaming as well. We do a lot of video broadcasts like our YouTube lives and uploading these videos. And if we got really good video, very good bandwidth, we're upping it to 4K and we can go up to 400 or 500 gigabytes a month. But
the nice thing for us is that we've got so many plans and so many options and so many, we've done such a good job of hunting down truly unlimited plans that we don't have to actually stress or think about our data usage much at all. We don't even bother to track it closely anymore just because we've got an abundance of options.
But those most of the options we have right now aren't available anymore, and the data plans are changing so often as to what is available, and we're kind of in this pre-5G phasing out LTE world where the carriers aren't focused on unlimited plans on LTE right now for data only use. So we're constantly trying to find the best options out there. So follow up with that plans guide.
And when we send out alerts saying get this plan before it's gone, that's probably the most important reason to follow our site, is to be aware of when there's a great option and when it might be about to go away.
All right. That's our update for now. Next time we shake it up, we'll have another update out for you.
Okay.
We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.